him.
Oh,
Let's go.
Rick, you look like a.
Okay, here we go. All right, we must do some groundwork first, okay? You guys, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. I'm gonna show you something really easy, and then always remember, I show you the easy stuff, but what we're doing today, it's all the same. So let's just start out by asking ourselves, what are we doing? We are looking for what today?
Zero.
The zeros
of a function.
of a function, okay? Okay. All right, since we're looking for the zeros of a function, I'll start you out as easy as I can. I'll start you with a linear function like this. 2x minus 4 equals
0.
y. I'm going to put a y first. Hang on. Now when I say I want the zeros of a function, oh, by the way, y could have been what?
0. F of x.
I could have said that, right? So f of x and y are the same thing. So when I say I want the zeros of a function, here's what I want. I want to know what x value makes the y value 0. So really, you know what I'm doing with that y? I'm just going to replace it with a 0. So basically I'm saying what x value makes the y value 0. I heard somebody say it already.
X is 2.
X is 2. Okay, what if this was harder? How would you get that answer?
Solve it.
You grind.
Solve it. Move the 4 over, right? So what do you get?
Negative 4 equals 2x.
I think it's add 4, add 4,
Oh yeah, 4.
divide by
Divide by 2.
answer,
2.
2. So what is the 0 of your function? 2. 2 is your 0. Okay? 2 times 2 minus 4. That makes 0. I'm asking you what x value makes the y value 0. So wait a minute. There is actually another way to get it, and it is to look at the graph. So let's look at the graph. If I graph your function, oh, by the way, because it's x to the first and y to the first, it's what kind of function?
Linear.
Linear. You guys, we should be able to graph this in 2 seconds. Start where?
Y-intercept.
Down 4, y-intercept, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slope of? 2 over 1, right? So up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So there it is. This happens to be, look at that, 2, 0. What's the x value? 2. What x value makes your function 0? 2 makes your function 0. Now, look at the graph and tell me, on the graph, what do we call that spot? What spot?
2, 0.
2, 0. That's the ordered pairs. There's a name for this. There you go, Elsa. Elsa called it the x what? Intercept. So, it's not only called the 0, it's called the what? It's called the x-intercept. So in math, there are names that mean the same thing. So when I ask you guys, hey, find the zeros of your function. Well, 2 creates 0. But this is also called a what? It's an x-intercept. So the zeros are really just x-intercepts. Just like x-intercepts are really what? Zeros, okay? All right. Now, that's what you're doing today. Except it's not linear. You're doing what? You're doing something like this, quadratic. I'll make one up. Let's go 5, let's go 6x. Okay, so if I did that, something like that, what would happen is you'd get a what graph?
Parabola.
Parabola. Up or down?
Up.
Because it's positive 1, it's up. Then you have to say, what's it going to look like? Well, I already know already this is going to be,
Up 5.
it's actually going to be right here. -5 and -1. So these would be the x-intercepts. These are also known as the what?
0.
Zeros. So your parabola, you said, goes up. And you're right, it goes like this. Okay, that's what it does. But the solutions to this problem, where is y gonna be 0? Where? Where will y be 0?
-5, -1.
At -5, because this is really -5, 0, and this is really -1, 0. So at -5 and -1, there's the answer. Those are your zeros. Okay, so tell me what you know about zeros right now.
No, the y-intercepts.
They're not y-intercepts. They're x-intercepts, right? Tell me something else you know.
Always equal 0.
The equation will always be equal to 0. Okay, tell me something else.
0.
You put 2 in for 0.
There's 2 x-intercepts on a parabola.
Okay, there's 2 x-intercepts on a parabola. I was hoping you guys would say, Ty, I was hoping you guys would say, zeros are just the x value that when you put it in your function, you get what?
0.
0. That's what it is. All you're looking for are the x's that pump out 0. What x's pump out 0? That's all you're doing. Now, did you guys hear Nick? Nick said a parabola hits the x-axis in 2 spots.
Sometimes it doesn't.
1, 2. Sometimes.
Always.
Sometimes it hits it only in 1 spot. What would the parabola look like?
It'd be above the 0. The vertex would be on the 0.
Vertex would be hitting
Anything above
the x-axis in how many spots?
1.
1. It could go down or it could go up, right? Oh, I missed it. Sorry. Missed it. Okay. So is there a chance there's only one solution?
Yes.
Or one zero? Yeah. Is there a chance there's no zeros?
Yes.
How?
If it's above
If it
or
doesn't
below
work.
the x.
If what?
Above or below the x.
Okay, so if the parabola goes above but doesn't touch the x-axis, or below and it doesn't touch, there'd be no what? There'd be no zeros in this one. Now, today, I believe today, you will get this answer, 2 of them, or this answer, 1 of them, but I don't think in your assignment today you're ever going to say there are no zeros, but it can happen. It can, okay? I don't think today it will. All right? Do you feel like you got this? Okay, let's go back. All right, ready? The objective today is find what?
0.
0. How do we pronounce the word 0?
0.
0. Oh. 0. Oh. I'm not sure why that's even in your notes. I just had to read that to you because I thought it was kind of funny. All right, let's move on. Main idea, wherever the graph of the function y equals f of x intersects the what? X-axis. That's your 0, wherever it crosses the x-axis, okay? The value of x at any of these intersection points is called the 0. Okay, wherever it crosses the x-axis, that is the 0. Definition, a value of x. So what's a 0? It's just a value of x for which your function equals 0. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of that. All right, example. X equals 2 is a 0 of your function 3x minus 6. Why? Because if you put 2 in your function, right here, put 2 in here, you would get 3 times 2 minus 6 equals 0. That's why 2 is a 0. Okay? All right, guys, we're flying now. Here we go. You need to give me the 0. Ready?
Not technically. Maybe.
Look at the 3 pictures. Brittany, what's the 0 on number 2? What is it?
2-0.
2, did you say 2-0?
Yep.
You don't have to say 2-0, just say,
2. X equals 2.
yep, because the 0 is an x value that gives us 0. What's the number, the 0 and 3 tie?
Negative.
-2.
I can't see the numbers, so I'm just
Look
going
on
to
your
go
paper,
negative
in
2.
your notes, it's easier.
Negative 2.
Negative 2, okay. Number 4, the zeros are what, Cole?
1 and -1.
Okay, he says positive and negative 1. And yes, he's right. And by the way, we're talking parabolas. Most of the time you're going to get 2 zeros. We're not really talking linear functions. So really, guys, these 2 functions, you're not doing this. This is not you. You're here. You're doing quadratics, okay? All right, here we go. So are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'm gonna make you graph a whole bunch of these. No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna make you graph one. So there must be a better way to find the zeros. And here it is. It's right here. How do you find the zeros? You use the zero product property. Here's what it says right over here. Okay? Take a number times a number and you get what? Zero. Okay, for this to happen, Rock, are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, for this to happen, this number we're going to give it a name. We're just going to call it A. This one we're going to call it B. And for A times B to be equal to 0, what do we know about A or B?
One's negative, one's positive.
One's negative, one's positive. That's
One
it.
is
One has to
zero.
be zero.
One has to be 0. So either, I'll say then, if this is true, if A times B is equal to 0, then A must equal what? 0. Or what? Or B must what?
Zero.
Equal 0. Okay, Isaac, quit listening to him.
Oh, yeah.
He's not
Just-
talking
No,
to me.
I don't care. I said Isaac's name, I didn't even say your name. Just look at me.
Original.
Okay, now, A is 0 or B is 0. That's all I'm telling you. Okay, now come over here. You see this? X plus 7 times X minus 2. This X plus 7, we'll just call that A. This X minus 2, we'll call that B. When does A times B equal 0? Whenever this number or this number equals 0. So now look inside. X plus 7. What X value would make this
-7.
0? -7. There it is. That's one of the answers. When is X minus 2 going to be 0?
2.
2 minus 2. It's right here. Yep. So all you have to do, guys, when you get these two numbers, X plus 7 times X minus 2, set them equal to 0, like this. Set them equal to 0, solve it, -7. Set it equal to 0, solve it, +2. Now, would you tell me something? X plus 7, X minus 2. Doesn't that look just like you did it 4 days in a row? Doesn't it look like factoring? So all you have to do to quadratics is factor it to look like this, and then answer the question, when's this 0? When X is -7. When is this 0? When X is 2. All you have to do is factor your problem, and then pull out the zeros. That's all you gotta do. Now, if I lost you because I just started talking too much, let's do a problem, and then let's go back and talk about this. Okay, here we go. What are the solutions of the quadratic equation right there? Well, here's the deal. I got to tell you something about math. Math has a whole bunch of words that mean the same thing. If you're looking for solutions, you're also looking for what?
Zeros.
Zeros. Find the zeros and you'll get the solutions. Guess what? There's another name that means that zeros and solutions.
Answer.
X
X-intercept.
I was gonna say, think of the graph, x-intercepts.
Jeez.
So x-intercepts, zeros, solutions, they're all the same thing. They're all the same. Okay, for you to do a problem like this, you need something to happen. And the something I'm talking about is right here. You need this equation in what we call, what? Standard form. And do you remember what standard form is? Ty?
Why does MX plus B?
Say again?
Why does MX plus B?
That is slope intercept form.
X A plus
Y equals
Okay, nobody's coming up with it really quick.
A plus B equals C. X.
X squared.
This was section 2. We did section 2 about a week ago. Just get x squared, x, and the constant on one side. What on the other side? 0. Okay, so let's do that. Ready? See that -12? Bring it over. X what?
X squared minus 7x plus 12.
Plus 12 equals what?
0.
0. Hey! We're looking for zeros. That's why we put a 0 there. So what x value will pump out a 0? Well, we'll go find it now. So what's the second step? we're gonna do this. We're going to factor. First step, standard form. Second step, factor. Go factor. Takes you like 30 seconds or less.
Negative, negative.
So what is it? Yeah, negative, negative.
Yeah.
Okay, negative, negative.
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Okay. Brittany gave me x minus 3 times x minus 4 equals the quadratic up above. Is she right? Is negative 3 times negative 4 12? Is negative 3 plus negative 4 negative 7?
Yes.
She's right. Okay. She's not done though. We have not pulled out the zeros. How do we pull out the zeros? We have to solve it. Remember up here when I said when is x plus 7 going to equal 0? You say when is x minus 3 going to equal 0?
Positive.
So one of the zeros is what?
X equals 3.
3.
The other one's gonna be positive 4.
And the other one is going to be positive 4. I'll set it equals 0. I'll solve it. I'll get 4. And I'm done. I have the zeros. 3 and 4. Good?
Gucci.
What were the 3 steps? The 3 steps were, say it.
Standard form.
Standard form first,
Factor.
factor second, solve last. Ready, set, go. You're on your own. Let's do it. Right here. It's the same thing. Solve by factoring. It should have said find the zeros. Find the zeros by solve by factoring. Go get your zeros is what I want you to get. Ty, standard form first, factor second, pull out the zeros third. Okay? Okay, if you got it, I'll just take a peek at it. I'll say yes or no. And for a hand to go up in the air. It is set up right now. You got to factor that. Okay? There, standard form done. Right? It's in standard form. Factor. In standard form. Right? Oh, sorry. You guys? 3 and 8. That's not it. You didn't take out the GCF. Your GCF is wrong. Nope, you didn't take out the GCF at all. Guys, is there a greatest common factor up here? 5. No.
5x.
5x. Yes. Are you okay with what I just did? I took out 5 because 5 goes into 30 and 5. I took out x because they both have x's. When you divide by 5x, what do you get?
X minus 6.
X minus 6. You see this? Where's your A and where's your B? Here's the first factor, A times B equals 0. When is this one going to be 0? When is this one going to be 0? Well, here's what I would do. If I want to know when they're 0, I'll just set them equal to 0, and I'll solve them.
0.
This one's easy. What's this?
6.
6. This one's pretty easy too, but to get it, you divide by 5. What x value pumps out 0? 0 pumps out 0. 6 pumps out 0. And if you don't trust me, just go put them back in. I mean, see if they really do pump out a 0. What's 6 times 6?
That's 30.
36 times 5, 180, minus 30 times 6. 180. 180 minus 180. 0. It works. And if you put a 0 in, that's so easy, because that'd be 0 minus 0 equals 0. Try it. Standard form, factor it, pull up the zeros. Pull up the zeros. Anybody got it yet? In case you're working ahead of me. Yes, and no, you're so close. So you're telling me 3 times negative 5, which is negative 15. Negative 15 plus 5 is 0. That's because you're crazy. No. But you're like that close. This is all good, you factored. Yeah, no, oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, I'm sorry. That's good, you factored it correctly, because you haven't pulled up the zeros. You gotta pull up the zeros. Standard form right there, that's standard. All right. Oh, let's go with Victoria. Is there a GCF in this one?
No.
No? Okay, no GCF, so it's a trinomial. Is it perfect? No, 3's not perfect. 40's not perfect. Okay, so now you're stuck doing this. How do you get a 3x squared?
3x plus 5, x plus 8.
Right? And how do you get negative? Negative
Positive and positive.
times a positive, okay? 40, yuck. 1 times 40, 40 times 1.
8 and 5.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it?
Yes.
It's 2 and 20, 20 and 2. It's 4, 10, 10, 4,
8 and 5.
8 and 5, and 5 and 8. I recommend start there. You say it's 8 and 5, so should I put an 8?
3x plus 5.
5 here?
No. No. Yeah, but you gotta.
Oh, the signs are wrong? Okay, signs are wrong.
3x plus 5.
Plus
And then minus 8.
Yeah,
and
minus.
minus.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see if this is right. Ready? Inner, inner. Outer, outer.
Negative 24.
Adds up to?
Negative 19.
Got it. Okay. All right, here we go. Pull up the zeros. The zeros are, okay, this one should be easy. You probably don't even have to write this out. Did you get 8?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the one that caused some of you headaches. You were sitting there trying to figure out what x had to be to make it 0. You don't have to work that hard. All you have to do is this. If you want to know when 3x plus 5 is equal to 0, then why don't you just set it equal to 0 and solve it? How do you start solving?
Minus 5.
3x equals negative 5
Divided by 3.
divided by 3. Negative 5/3. So what are the two solutions or two zeros? 8 and
Negative 5/3.
negative 5/3. Good?
Golden.
3 steps are, ready? Say it. Put it in standard form.
Standard form, factor, solve.
Factor it. Solve it. Good. Next page.
Whoa, don't put your stuff away. You still got time.
Okay, next page. Here we go. Now, before I do this problem, I need to know this. Your 9th grade teacher hammered this in your head. Do you still remember? Ready? If you were given this question on your ACT test in 4 months from now, 5 months from now, in April, if I went like this to you, what's the solution? X equals what?
6.
6. What allows you to do that?
6 squared.
Square root.
Square root.
36.
You take the square root of this, you take the square root of this, and you get this and this, correct? Is this the answer on the ACT test?
No.
She says the answer is positive and negative 6. Is it?
Yeah.
Could be.
Is 6 times 6, 36.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now put the negative 6 in. Is negative 6 squared? Is negative 6 times negative 6 36?
Yeah.
So how many answers are there?
2.
There are always going to be 2. Always. So if I go like this to you, x squared equals 400, you'll do this, won't you? And get x equals
2
plus or minus
20.
20. 20 times 20 is 400. So is negative 20 times negative 20, right? Okay. I had to tell you that because we're going to run into that in just a second. Here we go. Ready? An object is dropped from a height of 1,500 feet above the ground. An object, let's call it a baseball.
Oh.
We're going to drop a baseball. From how high?
1,500.
1,500 feet. Okay. So we kick it off the edge and it falls, hits the ground, right? Kind of looks like a parabola, doesn't it? Actually, half a parabola. Okay. The function way back here. H for height of the ball equals negative 16 t squared plus 1,500. What's the t stand for? Gives the object's height, h,
Seconds.
in feet, during free fall at what?
2 seconds.
T seconds. So T stands for seconds. If you want to know how high the ball is, put a number in for T. When will the object be what? 1,100 feet above the ground. Well, guys, if this is 1,500, wouldn't 1,100 be somewhere around here? When is the ball right there? When? When? How about right there? Isn't that the answer? Right there? That's the answer. Is that 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds? What is it? Well, I don't expect you to know. I expect you to take this 1,100 and do what with it?
Put in the equivalent.
Where? Where do I?
Or H.
H is. Okay, here we go. 1,100 feet. When's the ball 1,100 feet?
After 400 feet.
All right. What are you thinking? What should I do?
Punch it down.
Punch it in. What do you mean by that?
Solve it.
Move the 1100 to the other side.
Move the 1,100 to the other side. Put it in standard form and factor it. Pull out the zeros. Oh, that's a great thing to say, but I'm going to say boo. I don't want you to do that. Hey,
Minus 1,500.
okay, I want you to
50.
get your eyes up. Too many eyes are down. Too many eyes are down. I need eyes. I need eyes. Don't factor this one. There's a reason. I see a t squared term. Okay, Isaac, need some eyes here. T squared is there, but what's missing? What's missing?
B.
Okay, remember how it's always ax squared plus bx plus c? Okay, the x squared term is right there. The c is right here. What's missing? The x term, or the t term is missing. When the middle term is missing, there's an easy way to solve quadratic equations. All you got to do is solve for t squared, and then take the square root of both sides. So you know what I would do? I would go the other way, put that over here. How? Right? Minus 1,500. So you get negative 16t squared,
Negative 400.
negative 400.
Divided by negative 16 is 25.
Oh, I told you guys minus 15.
Okay? You guys with me or not? I'm just solving for t squared. That's all I'm doing. Get t squared by itself. And Brittany, you said this is what?
25.
25. One more step.
Plus or minus 5.
Square root of this, square root of that, plus or minus 5 seconds. Now, here's the deal. There are two answers, positive and negative 5. But it's a story problem. And because it's a story problem, sometimes answers don't always make sense when we're talking about the story. If the ball gets tossed over the edge, is it ever going to take negative 5 seconds to land?
No.
No, time is always start at 0, go where? Go positive. You only go positive seconds, right? So what's the real answer to this?
Plus 5.
When's it 1,100 feet in the air? At 5 seconds. Do you know where negative 5 falls? On the other side of the parabola, it actually falls right there. That's what the negative 5 stood for. But in this problem, only the 5 made sense. When will the object, the ball, be what?
853.
No. Your notes don't say that.
No.
Your notes say, when will the object
Hit the ground.
hit the ground? When it hits the ground, what's the height? 0. Plug 0 in, solve it. Okay. Cole. The rest of this problem will be on YouTube tonight. Just go look at it. Okay. All right. 0 goes in for height, right? See it. 16, negative 16t squared plus 1500. I'll give you like 30 seconds to solve that. Cedric, do you have the answer yet?
I got something to sound the answer.
Okay. Patrick, do you have it?
I think that's something weird too.
Well, hey, guys,
25 seconds.
just give me weird answers. I don't care if they're right or wrong.
25 seconds.
25 seconds is wrong.
But it's weird.
9.68 seconds.
Roughly.
Anybody get 9.68? Thank you.
I got 93.75.
Yeah, I got 93.
Okay. You guys quit too early. Okay. Watch. Patrick, you are right, by the way. How do you get rid of, how do you get t squared by itself?
Divide by negative 16.
Yeah, divide by negative 16, right?
That's what I got.
T squared equals what?
Why did I do that?
90.
3.75.
Okay. And see, I heard 3 of you say that's what I got for my answer. No, you didn't. That's t squared. I want t. What do?
Square root of that bad boy.
Square root.
9.7.
And this is not exactly the right answer, so I'll put that symbol. That symbol says
About
Kind of.
approximately
9.6.
9 point, and if I go to the nearest hundredth, I think it's 9.68 seconds, right?
Yep.
Okay. So guys, that is when it hits the ground, in 9.68 seconds. So Patrick, you got it right. Cedric, you would have got it right if you just take the square root. All right, ready? What's the domain? And by the way, the domain, that's the x values. But we replaced x with what? T. So we're talking time. So guys, what's a good domain here? What kind of time are we talking? 0 seconds up to
9.6.
that. By that point, we're done. The story's done. I'd say time ranges from 0 to 9.68 seconds. I'd say less than or equal to that, but greater than or equal to 0. That's domain. What's the range? The range would be height. What's the height range from? How high did the ball start?
1500.
1500.
How low did the ball go?
0.
So what to what?
0 to 1500.
Yeah, your height will be between here and here. There you go. The top one, the blue one, is domain. The bottom one is range. Okay? So I drew my arrows and hopefully you see them. Your assignment 1, 3, 9 through 17. That is all standard form factor, pull up the zeros. 36, 37, that's the story block.
Is this in our books?
Yes, it is.
Do you happen to have another one of those?
I do. How long have you now been accounting? Hey, you guys are juniors in high school, right? Do you guys have binders or folders or anything?
Oh, yeah. Look at this thing. I
Have you figured this out yet?
Nice graph organizer.
Okay, good. Hey, what do you have in that bag? You have a binder?
I have folders.
Okay,
He doesn't.
I know, I just
How are you
got the
losing?
split. I don't know.
Keep focused on other things.
Alright, Nick, here you go. So this will be the reason you're not doing
So, it's Nick's birthday tomorrow.
Good.
Yeah, it is.
He's having a party, it happens to us.
Yeah, we're going bowling.
You're going bowling.
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
Oh, look at outside.
Hey, did I ever give you goals? The goal sheets?
Relationship goals?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you lying to me or are you telling me the truth?
You did.
So
What did it look like?
Yellow.
Oh yeah, you gave us some. Yep.
When she.
All right.
Oh, dude, that was